Hey guys, it's Annalise from Southern Belle and Training Blog, and thanks so much for tuning in to my very first blog video. This comes highly requested. Over the past couple of years, a lot of you have reached out to me asking for a hair tutorial, so I'm finally obliging. This was actually one of my blogging goals to have completed before I moved out of Charlotte, and as of today, I am 2.5 days out before my move, so better late than never, right? I'm going to be showing you today how I get the big voluminous curls that I wear in most of my blog outfit posts, minus the few that I wear straight hair in. And I love this hairstyle so much that I don't just wear it when I'm shooting for my blog. I also wear it most days of the week in everyday life, for formal occasions. Definitely not just for the blog, because I love these curls and I've managed to find a technique that works so well for them that they usually last 2 to 3 days if I do it right and apply all the hair products properly. So currently I am using a T3 curling wand, which if you follow a lot of fashion bloggers, this is definitely not a new tool for you. It is a costly product. I believe it currently retails at about $275, but I think it is 100% worth the money. When I use this to curl my hair and spend the time on it, the curls last about 3 days. Of course, sometimes I do have to do a touch-up or two, a couple days in, but it really lasts and it's so easy to use. It has an interchangeable barrel, which is really cool. You just turn this and then you can pull that out just like this. This is my favorite barrel to use. It's the 1-inch straight barrel. The set also comes with 2 other barrels, which I do use from time to time, not usually for my blog photos hairstyle, but sometimes for everyday wear. And I did want to show you guys this as well, since I know a lot of my followers are girls like me who are on a budget, and I was definitely on an even tighter budget when I was in college and started my blog. This was the curling one that I used all through college, which, as y'all know, is when I started my blog. It's from Remington, and it's the T-Series Pearl Wand, or something like that. If you Google Remington T-Series Pearl on Amazon or Ulta, it should pop right up. I used to own this in 2 sizes. This is the smaller of the 2, and the bigger one is actually what I used to use for my everyday look for the blog. It has since broken, the one I used to have, because I used it for about 4 years. But it's only $30, and I mean, for a $30 wand, if it lasts you 3 to 4 years, that's honestly pretty great. And the curls would last pretty well for 1 or 2 days. So this is also a great wand if you're not looking to invest quite as much as the T3. So let's get on into the hair curling portion of this tutorial. My T3 wand is heating up right now. This wand only has 1 heat setting, but when I do use wands or irons with multiple heat settings, I do prefer to curl on a higher heat just so the curls will last longer. As you can see, I'm getting my hair tangle-free and ready to curl with this wide tooth comb. I think for my hair specifically, it's easier to prep for curling with a comb instead of a brush. Next, I separate my hair into 2 sections on either side of my head, just like this, not too hard. And then I like to start on the right side of my head. Some days I start on the left, it doesn't really matter. And then I take the front section of the right and a big chunky hair clip, and I clip it over just so that there's not as much hair to work with initially. I have super thick hair and it gets even thicker when it's curled, so it's easier for me to work in sections of 4 for the curling. So I take a small strand of hair. You can just judge the size of the strand by how well you know your own hair, but a small strand about that big works well for me. I take the iron in my right hand and I point it down, and then I start winding it around it counterclockwise, and I hold it about maybe 1 inch or ½ an inch out. I've used a wand for so many years now that I don't usually burn my fingers, so I don't have to wear the glove. But if you're new to curling wands, definitely use the glove that they provide because you don't want any burns. I hold it about 10 seconds and then I release, and there's a curl for you. Usually I try to catch it in my hand to hold the bounce a little bit. As you can see on that one, it didn't really happen, but let's go for another one. And wind down, and then hold a little bit out just so we don't burn our fingers. Hold for about 10 seconds. Sometimes I'll twist a little more during this part, and then try and catch in my hand. Oops, this one's being finicky. There we go. And perfect. This one is an inside clump of hair, so these can be a little bit harder sometimes. Sometimes I don't hold the inside ones quite as long just because it's an awkward hand grip, but they still come out well. I'm gonna finish this section and then I'll show you guys what it looks like.
Audio preview.
Okay, so the right bottom half side is all done. Look at those pretty curls. If I'm doing a blog shoot, I'll usually put a little bit of hairspray on them at this point, just so they'll last while I'm doing the whole head. If it's just for something every day, I won't really care as much, but since we're doing this as if it's for a blog shoot, I'll show you guys how I spray them. My normal hairspray is one by L'Oreal, but since I'm about to be moving, that hairspray is actually already packed, so the one that I left out is this travel-sized Aussie hairspray, but it works pretty well, almost as good as my L'Oreal one. You can actually read about the L'Oreal hairspray that I love from a hair favorites post from, I think, winter 2016 on the blog. So I don't do too much spraying at this point, just a little bit since I still have a lot of hair to curl, but this is just something to keep them secure while the rest of the hair gets done. Okay, so now we're gonna do some clip switching. I'm actually gonna clip the part that's already curled back, let the front hair back down, kind of push this behind, and then clip, move over to this side so we can start the back left, and clip up the front right. Just like that. And then we're gonna get started on this. Alrighty, and then we're just gonna spray this side quickly again and then get started on both of the front sides. Alright, so we'll do a clip switch again. Take this down and push that all back. So we're gonna go back over to the right side and start curling the front of the hair. Gonna do another run through with the comb. So the nice thing about curling the front part of the hair is that you can work all the way up to the root, so the curls can be longer and fuller. I also tend to do even smaller sections on the front side since these are the parts that frame your face and are more visible. So I'm doing the front piece right now, and this one you want to get as close to the scalp as possible without burning yourself, because this is the piece that will really frame your face. And especially if you're wearing your hair down, you'll want this one to stay curled for the longest. So now the front is all done. It looks so great already. And I'm gonna switch over and do this side, and we'll speed through this part since I'm doing the same technique. But yeah, we're almost done, and then we get to the products, which is the fun part. Alright, so we are all done with the curling part. So this is when I unclip the back and let it all down. And I take a look at it and I see if there's anything that needs to be touched up. Because this is your time to do that. Like, if you can see, this piece back here kind of escaped getting a really good curl. So I'll go back over it. Usually I like to think I do a pretty thorough job, but when you have as much thick hair as I do, there's always a piece or two that could use a touch-up. Here's another one. All right, and now it's time to shut off the wand because it is very hot. So I shut it off, and I always unplug it as well. I'm very paranoid about leaving it plugged in, and I get this completely out of sight, out of mind while I do my products, so that I don't have to think about accidentally touching it and burning myself. Okay, so there's 3 products that I use, one being the hairspray to finish off my curls look. As you can see, they already look pretty good, but there's no volume going on up here, and they could also use a little bit more body and a little bit of oomph down here as well too. So first up is dry shampoo. Right now, I'm using this one by the brand Not Your Mother's. It is a product that is now sold in drugstores. I picked this one up at my local Walmart. I always like trying different dry shampoos. Tresemme has been a longtime favorite of mine, but recently at Walmart, I decided to try something new, and I've been very impressed by this one so far. So I pick up different sections in the front of my hair, kind of just like this, if you can see. and I just spray a little bit here and there. I was using a powder dry shampoo for a little bit from Aveda, but the powder was a little bit too white and thick, and you could kind of see it in my hair when this was all done. It looked like really bad dandruff, so I stopped using that and have not looked back since switching back to this or Tresemme. Next up, I am going to use a powder product, but fear not, this does not look at all like dandruff. It comes in a very tiny bottle. It's from Big Sexy Hair, and it's called Powder Play. This is amazing for adding volume. As you can see, I have very thick hair. It does hold a curl well, but amazingly, it does not tease well at all. And I really have to fight to get the volume up top and even some volume down here too. So with this product, it is a powder. You just kind of shake a little bit of it right in the same spots that I put my dry shampoo, where I'm gonna attempt to tease. And you will see the white powder coming out, but I promise you it does not really stay put, so it won't give you a bad dandruff look. So now comes the really fun part. We're gonna flip over and scrunch. I put my fingers up in those spots where I put the dry shampoo and the powder play, and I just scrunch and get it as messy as I can. And this is creating so much volume and so much fun texture. And I scrunch a bit at the bottom too. I love doing this because it also feels really good. And I grab it from the bottom up and flip my head back up and let it down. I have a really defined natural center part, so my hair will part naturally in the center. And then voila, look at all that volume. Also gonna tease a little bit. So like I said, my hair does not hold volume well up top. So I'm gonna add a tad more dry shampoo. And this teasing comb I got from Sally Beauty. It's pretty standard. And I'm not very good at teasing hair. Honestly, I don't really know what I'm doing a lot of the time, but I usually just grab small sections in the front, just like this, and then just comb pretty rapidly where there's a lot of product. It works well for me for adding volume for blog shoots. I don't usually do this step quite this dramatically just for everyday wear, but it does help, as you can see, to add some volume when I need it to last for photos or a special event. But if any hairdressers want to come and teach me how to tease better, I am all ears. And then I go through with my fingers. And then last but not least, I spray. And this will fall a little bit. There won't be quite so much volume in a little bit, especially if I'm outside or driving or doing something, but the curls at least will stay. And voila! My hair tutorial. So thanks so much for watching. Please let me know if you like this video, and hopefully I'll try and incorporate more video tutorials in the future. And thanks so much for reading and following Southern Belle in Training. Bye everyone.